Your top stories this evening sponsored by Courts, bringing value home. Opposition leader Azruddin Mohammed calls for president's resignation, slams former president benefits bill. APNU says Ali must account for wealth linked to lands. Labor shortage continues to pose challenges for construction, transportation and agriculture sectors. And Region 3 rice farmers cash in on relief checks. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm Travis Chase with the Tuesday, July 7th edition of the HGP Nightly News. Here's what we're tracking at this hour. Leader of the opposition Azruddin Mohammed is calling for the immediate resignation of the head of state over a serious corruption allegation linked to a multi-billion-dollar ranch development and a controversial bill expanding benefits for former presidents. We have more in this story. Leader of the opposition Azruddin Mohammed is calling on President Irfan Ali to immediately resign, accusing the head of state of presiding over unprecedented corruption.
As leader of the opposition, I am now publicly calling for his immediate resignation from the office of the presidency. The Guyanese people deserve better, and you are not a leader for the people.
Mohammed said his call follows the release of substantial evidence concerning a 150-acre luxury ranch estate linked to President Ali. He argued that the property's value cannot be reconciled with the president's earnings as a public official and said the allegations have eroded public confidence in the country's leader.
It is impossible for a man who has been a public servant all his life to amass 150 acres of land and a more than $5 billion luxury estate.
Mohammed also criticized the government's proposed amendments to the former president's Benefits and Other Facilities Bill, arguing that the legislation would provide excessive taxpayer-funded lifetime benefits to former presidents, including tax exemptions, state-funded utilities, household staff, security, official vehicles, and medical expenses.
President Irfan wants to put an additional burden on the Guyanese people to amend the bill to fund his lavish lifestyle of unlimited spending on the backs of the Guyanese people.
He is also urging political parties, trade unions, civil society organizations, constitutional bodies, and the wider public to oppose the proposed legislation and demand accountability. He contended that the proposed benefits would place an additional burden on taxpayers while giving former presidents financial advantages unavailable to ordinary Guyanese. Mohammed said he has since received additional information regarding the alleged operations at the ranch and promised further public disclosures in the coming days. President Ali has rejected the allegations surrounding the property, stating that he will not succumb to what he says are attempts at blackmail. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. Meanwhile, the Partnership for National Unity is dragging President Irfan Ali's Soos-Dyke-Linden Highway land issue back into the spotlight, demanding full disclosure as questions over his Long Creek Ranch continue to widen. Here's more.
The Partnership for National Unity, APNU, is calling on President Irfan Ali to fully disclose his income, assets, liabilities, and any financial arrangements connected to lands along the Soos-Dyke-Linden Highway. The party says recent revelations about the property have raised serious questions that require clear and public answers. According to the APNU, the issue is not new. The party pointed out that one of the 19 fraud-related charges previously brought against Ali before he became president concerned lands along the Soos-Dyke-Linden Highway. Those charges were later discontinued after Ali assumed office. By raising that history, APNU said the latest questions surrounding the lands should not be treated as new, isolated, or politically convenient. The controversy first gained public attention after opposition leader Azruddin Mohammed released a video questioning President Ali's ownership of a luxury ranch at Long Creek. Mohammed alleged that the property is worth more than $5 billion and questioned how the president whose official salary is about 3.7 million Guyana dollars per month, could afford it after a career in public service. The APNU is now demanding that the president state clearly whether he is the beneficial owner of the farmlands in question. It also pointed to reports that the lease arrangement costs about 25 million annually. APNU said the public deserves to know how those payments are being financed and whether they are consistent with the president's declared source of income. The party argued that Ali, as president of Guyana, has the responsibility to uphold high standards of transparency and accountability. It said citizens are entitled to know how any wealth connected to the lands was acquired and whether all legally required declarations have been made. According to the APNU, full disclosure would help remove doubts, strengthen public confidence, and show a genuine commitment to good governance. The party said no public official, regardless of rank or office, should be shielded from scrutiny in a democratic society. Quote unquote, the president must answer these legitimate questions and provide the accountability that the people of Guyana deserve, the party said. Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Meanwhile, Transparency International Guyana is calling for an independent international investigation into allegations surrounding President Irfan Ali's ownership of a livestock farm at Long Creek on the Source-Linden Highway, arguing that the matter is about transparency, conflicts of interest, and the possible misuse of state resources. The anti-corruption watchdog says the allegations, if left unresolved, could undermine public trust and Guyana's international reputation. We have more details on this story. Transparency International Guyana is urging that an independent investigation be launched into allegations surrounding President Irfan Ali's Long Creek livestock farm. In a statement issued Monday, the anti-corruption organization said recent reports about the president's ownership of the property is a potential conflict of interest, the possible misuse of public resources, and possible non-compliance with the Public Integrity Act. The organization said the investigation should determine whether the president's ownership of the farm conflicts with his official responsibilities and whether the asset was properly declared in accordance with the law. It is also calling for investigators to examine whether any state personnel, equipment, funds, or other government resources were used to benefit the property. Transparency International Guyana further wants investigators to assess whether any provisions of the Public Integrity Act or other ethics laws were breached and whether the president's office resulted in preferential treatment or regulatory advantages for the farm. To ensure impartiality, the organization is proposing that the investigation be conducted by Transparency International member chapters and independent experts from outside Guyana, with the local chapter serving only in a consultative role. The watchdog warned that failing to address the allegations could further erode public confidence, damage Guyana's international reputation, and negatively affect the country's investment climate. It said the government must respond to the allegations promptly and transparently, adding that the evidence already placed in the public domain warrants full public scrutiny. The statement comes amid ongoing public controversy over the president's Long Creek farm, which has become the subject of allegations by opposition leader Azruddin Mohammed. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. We tell you now that Guyana's economic boom is opening doors across the country, but it is also exposing a growing problem. Key sectors like construction, transportation, and agriculture are struggling to find enough workers. Here is more in this story.
Businesses across Ghana are struggling to find workers as the country's rapid economic expansion drives up demand for labor in several industries. Private Sector Commission Executive Member Timothy Tucker said the shortage is being felt across construction, transportation, mining, agriculture, and other sectors, not just oil and gas. Speaking on the Starting Point podcast on Sunday, Tucker said employers are finding it increasingly difficult to fill available positions.
I believe that most Guyanese have the opportunity to either work in the industry or an associated industry, or you have the ability at this point to be an entrepreneur.
Some of the most in-demand jobs right now include truck drivers, mechanics, electricians, plumbers, health and safety officers, and quality control specialists.
It's a huge demand for laborers, and we have a labor shortage. Yes, we have some amount of foreigners coming in to help.
Foreign workers have entered Guyana to help ease the shortage, but Tucker believes Guyanese still have major opportunities to benefit from the growing economy.
I would say keep your day job and work that side gig. Everything counts. You've got to be able to diversify, look for your niche product or service.
He said increased demand for goods and services has created spaces for suppliers, transportation providers, farmers, and other businesses tied to the productive sectors. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
This is the HGP Nightly News. Stay with us. There is more news ahead.
It's game on. And you may not be able to predict the scoreline or who will win each game. And you sure can't predict who will be the champion. But what is predictable is that Quartz has what you need to watch the games the way you want to every time. It's game on. Quartz, bringing value home.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where lighting and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc., powering your life with elegance, quality, and care.
Krishna Rolf is
Welcome back to the HGP Nightly News. In her address to the ongoing CARICOM Heads of Government meeting in St. Lucia, Secretary General Dr. Carla Barnett called for regional integration, emphasizing that greater energies should be directed to ensure unity, resilient intra-regional markets, and collaboration in health, education, and culture for sustainable Caribbean development. Antonio Day is tracking this story.
a clarion call was made for unity and resilience, stronger inter-regional markets, and collaboration on health, education, and culture for sustainable Caribbean development at the ongoing CARICOM Heads of Government meeting in St. Lucia. The call was made by Secretary General Dr. Carla Barnett, who emphasized that achievements in the CARICOM single market and economy, including revised trade rules and expanded skilled worker mobility, were evident. However, she urged faster implementation of remaining components, calling for collaboration at regional and national levels.
The challenges we face call us to redouble our efforts. We have to do what is necessary to implement key, outstanding aspects of the CSME, such as capital market institutions, payments and settlement systems, and expanding movement of persons.
She lamented that climate change continues to pose challenges with severe weather affecting agriculture and necessitating quicker disaster relief. The Secretary General also highlighted ongoing community development in Haiti while pledging her commitment to stability in the sister nation.
In the area of community development, we continue to work with Haiti to address the long ongoing challenges of governance and security.
She praised outgoing Chair and Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew of St. Kitts and Nevis and expressed confidence in the new Chair and St. Lucia's Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre, noting the region's commitment to progress amid economic and climate challenges. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Pierre too highlighted climate challenges facing Caribbean nations and called for fair climate finance from major polluters, supporting Guyana's COP45 bid.
We cannot accept a global system that praises our resilience while denying us the resources to survive. We cannot accept frameworks that measure vulnerability only by income loss, while ignoring our vulnerability and exposure to the destruction of climate events. The Caribbean must continue to insist on fairness.
The Prime Minister underscored economic renewal through trade, food security via agriculture, digital innovation with AI, and inclusive growth for youth and marginalized groups. Antonio, the reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Thank you, Antonio. The Caribbean Reparations Committee continues to struggle to achieve justice for the descendants of enslaved Africans. Figures like former Ambassador Dr. June Soomer and Sir Hilary Beckles posited that it is not merely about monetary compensation, but about restoring dignity, humanity, and historical truth to a people whose past has often been erased or whitewashed.
Lots of people have come up to me and said, only in the last few minutes, do you think you will ever get that money? It's not about the money. Yes, the money is important, but it is about the return of our dignity, of our personhood, of who we are as a people.
That was Dr. June Soomer, former St. Lucian ambassador to the OECS and CARICOM, and member of the Caribbean Reparations Commission, known as CRC, deliberating on Monday as part of the ongoing CARICOM Heads of Government meeting on Caribbean reparatory justice. Dr. Soomer, addressing a current manifesto, described it as a gift to humanity, as she called for full formal apology, financial reparations, and commitment to address trauma, indigenous rights, and violence against women. The former history lecturer highlighted a critical issue that continues to affect societies globally, that of systematic erasure of Black history and the covert resistance to granting reparatory justice. She argued that this phenomenon undermines the recognition of Black contributions and the acknowledgement of historical injustices, shaping how history is remembered and taught.
People are trying to now whitewash what our history, and we have to fight against that. And this is what this reparatory justice manifesto is about.
She noted that it emphasizes pan-Caribbean and pan-African unity, the importance of repatriation, whether spiritual, physical, or mental, and the recognition of women's critical role and suffering on the slavery's capitalist exploitation. Adding to the discourse was Professor Hilary Beckles, chairman of the CRC, who pointed out that Caribbean reparations are ultimately about restoring identity, self-respect, and justice. He noted that healing centuries-old wounds and achieving true equality are ongoing journeys, seeing this moment as pivotal for both the Caribbean and humanity.
As Caribbean people, we're not going to let the struggle of our ancestors go to naught. We are going to take it up. This is our time, our duty, our responsibility to honor the legacy of all of our ancestors who demanded justice.
Antonio, reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Meanwhile, locally, the quest for reparatory justice for Caribbean nations seeking redress for enslavery and colonial exploitation through the full realization per the CARICOM 10-point plan remains underachieved. This is according to Kip Copeland, community organizer of the Caribbean-wide repair campaign.
For many Caribbean countries seeking compensation for slavery and colonial exploitation, the pursuit of reparatory justice continues to be a crucial issue. Kip Copeland, community organizer of the repair campaign, fully pointed out that while the Gladstone family's apology for the brutality and inhumane crimes against enslaved Africans during the transatlantic slave trade represented one aspect of reparatory justice, there are still other advancements that are yet to be achieved.
It's been documented as a good start, but the action has to continue. And sometimes it takes for us, the activists, and even the government to continue to press on. You know, when you make an agreement, it's for you to now do follow-ups to make sure that what is being said, what is being committed to, actually follows through.
The CARICOM Reparatory Justice 10-point plan outlines a comprehensive framework aimed at securing formal apologies, financial compensation, education opportunities, public awareness, the preservation of cultural heritage, development assistance, and institutional reforms from former colonial powers. Copeland pointed out that since the Gladstone family formally offered its apology to Ghana, those in authority should have facilitated consultations and ensure policies governing reparatory justice were established.
So let's do something. Let's actually do something. Let's not just make statements, because we've seen many statements. For example, the Georgetown University had made a statement some while ago, but the Georgetown University in Washington, D.C., they actually put a fund towards tuition for people of African descent who go to this school.
Several Caribbean countries have engaged in diplomatic efforts and established reparatory commissions, but challenges persist due to complex legal frameworks and varying political will. Slavery and colonialism's legacy continues to impact social inequalities, economic disparities, and cultural identity in the Caribbean. The youth activists emphasize that reparatory justice is crucial for healing and restoring dignity, and moving forward requires regional solidarity, international cooperation, and a commitment to transformative justice for an equitable future.
More than just me or two persons speaking about it. It's going to take capital investments, giving persons debt cancellations. There's so many things that has to be put in place. That finances, of course, or cooperation from different states had to come together and make some special effort to do.
I'm Antonio De reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Stay with us. You're watching the HGP Nightly News.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
Whatever your dream is, Republic Bank can help you make it happen. You can make it happen. Let's help you get there with a Make It Happen loan.
Republic Bank. We're the one for you.
It's game on. And you may not be able to predict the scoreline or who will win each game. And you sure can't predict who will be the champion. But what is predictable is that Quartz has what you need to watch the games the way you want to every time. It's game on. Quartz, bringing value home.
Welcome back to the HGP Nightly News. At this hour, we tell you that the Ministry of Agriculture has begun the distribution of relief checks to farmers across Region 3 to aid in their farming exploits as food prices continue to surge globally. Marvin Cato reports.
Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa on Tuesday morning spearheaded the distribution of relief checks to rice farmers from across Region 3 during an exercise held at the National Track and Field Center at Leonora. More than 500 farmers signed up for the grant. However, a significant number did not show up to uplift their grant. The farmers are the second batch to receive financial assistance as part of government's continued support for the rice industry.
All the commitment, all the promises that we have made to the farmers of our country, especially the rice farmers, were fulfilled.
The initiative was announced this past April following an engagement with rice farmers at the Artichon Conference Center as a targeted intervention to assist the industry as it continues to navigate increasingly global challenges affecting agricultural production, input costs, and international markets. Through the program, farmers cultivating 15 acres or less received $15,000 per acre, while those cultivating more than 50 acres will receive $10,000 per acre. In Region 3, 560 rice farmers cultivating a combined 15,636 acres are expected to benefit from more than $201 million in relief. Nationwide, the government will distribute approximately $2.763 billion to rice farmers under the initiative. Speaking with Nightly News, farmers were pleased with the relief measures during this difficult period of rice cultivation.
This financial assistance, I must say, it's going to go far away in terms of helping us to buy fertilizers, drugs, and even paying labor because we've seen the skyrocketing labor costs in this country.
En tant que president, Governor let me see the cash check. That's what we have for the farmer. The fertilizer, the check for the representative. Thankful very much.
The government of Guyana commenced the distribution of a $3 billion cash grant initiative for rice farmers earlier this month, with further injection of over $400 million to hundreds of rice farmers in Region 2. Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
The tarmac of the Guyana National Stadium was a hive of activity when thousands descended there for the One Guyana worship experience. Here's more.
In what was a highly anticipated gospel event, thousands from the Christian community turned out for the One Guyana worship experience at the Providence National Stadium. With a stellar week having pulled off the Origins Guyana Fashion Weekend, the Ministry of Tourism, Industry and Commerce did not fail to deliver again, this time with a memorable worship experience to rival any the country has seen. Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, Susan Rodriguez, delivering a keynote address to the audience, expressed appreciation to those who played an integral role in ensuring the event delivered on its intended purpose.
Tonight we came here for music, we came for fellowship, we came for worship. But I believe that God is calling us for something greater.
Patrons were wooed by internationally renowned gospel artists Naomi Rain and Sinach, two artists the country has never experienced. The Christian community showed what a night of love, community, and faith looks like when they sang to almost every song in unison, bringing joy on the faces of those who performed. Meanwhile, Bishop Juan Egil, who is also the Minister of Public Works, prayed for the nation and its leaders that God continue to guide them so they can open their hearts to hear His word.
Let the presence of God be rich amongst us. And Father, we pray that some heart will be touched, some life will be changed.
Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Stay with us. Your regional news is up next.
GECOM will be conducting a claims and objections exercise commencing July 1, 2026 to produce an official list of electors, OLE. GECOM has posted the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all registration divisions across Guyana for you to check whether you are listed and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. If you will be 18 years or older by June 30, 2026 and you are a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. If you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE, you are required to apply for registration if your name is not in the PLE. Apply for a transfer if you have changed your address since you were registered. Apply for a name change if you have changed your name, or apply for a correction if your registration particulars are incorrect. Any person whose information on the PLE is incorrect can apply for such information to be changed or corrected. Any person applying for a change or correction to his or her particulars must provide the relevant original source document, birth certificate and deed poll for a name change by deed poll, birth certificate and marriage certificate for a name change by marriage. Divorce absolute in the case of a woman who is desirous of reverting to her maiden name from her married name, birth certificate, adoption certificate, naturalization certificate for correction of minor clerical errors. Visit the GECOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to conduct any of the above transactions. The claims aspect of this exercise will end on Tuesday, July 14, 2026. For more information, contact the GECOM on 225-0278-9 or visit www.gecom.org.ui.
Fruitopia, Fruitopia, it's a drink that's hype. The citrus punch, fruit punch tastes nice. Guava, pineapple, that give me a vibe. We no want nothing less compared to the rest. Fruitopia the best. Quench any thirst when it comes to the test. Perfect thing for my lunch. Flavors pack a punch. Fruitopia, Fruitopia, it's a drink that's hype. The citrus punch, fruit punch tastes nice. Fruitopia, the drink that rocks your lunchtime.
GECOM will be conducting a claims and objections exercise commencing July 1, 2026 to produce an official list of electors, OLE. If you will be 18 years or older by June 30, 2026 and you're a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GECOM has posted the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all registration divisions across Guyana for you to check check whether you are listed, and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. You can object to anyone whom you believe does not qualify for inclusion in the OLE. To do so, you must be listed in the same divisional list as the person you are objecting to. You must visit the GECOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to make an objection. The objections aspect of this exercise will end on Friday, July 17, 2026. For more information, contact the GECOM on 225-0278-9 or visit www.gecom.org.gy.
With this edition of the Regional News, I am Giselle Archibald. Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness says while his country is not seeking to overturn the decision of regional leaders to reappoint Dr. Carla Burnett as the Secretary General of the Caribbean Community, it remains concerning that the approach taken has neither resolved the matter or promoted the spirit and goals of the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas. Holness says, as a matter of principle, the fact that the issue has become one of public controversy should be of great concern and should not be discarded. Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar has said she will not recognize the Belizean economists when her current term ends in August, and has since submitted a 22-page letter to CARICOM urging regional leaders to seek an opinion from the Trinidad-based Court of Justice, the CCJ. Cuba on Monday suffered its third nationwide power outage since the start of the year, the state electricity company said. The island was already struggling to keep the lights on before the U.S. President Donald Trump imposed an oil blockage in January, which has depleted the already dwindling supply of fuel for Cuba's power plants. The blackout is the eighth on the island of 9.6 million people since late 2024. The government has invested heavily in solar energy to try to alleviate the electricity shortages, but solar power, while increasing, still represents just 10% of the energy mix. And internationally, China's military test fired a missile from a nuclear submarine into the Pacific Ocean on Monday. State media reported, drawing criticism and concerns from Japan, Australia, and New Zealand. A nuclear submarine of the People's Liberation Army Navy launched the missile carrying a dummy warhead towards international waters in the Pacific. China's official news agency said the missile landed in the designated waters, it added, without giving further details of the location. Japan's government said it received notification of the missile launch and urged China to reconsider. China last tested for intercontinental ballistic missile in 2024, a rare launch that highlighted the country's increasing military capabilities. And that's the news to the moment. Thank you for watching.
Let's join Delvin Neblet now for HGP's Sports Pulse.
Good evening, Guyana. I'm Delvin Neblet with your HGP TV Sports Pulse for today, Tuesday, July 7, 2026. We begin tonight with cycling. 3 Guyanese cyclists recently featured at the 2026 John T. Memorial Race in Anguilla. 2026 Under-23 National Road Race champion Ajani Cutting featured in the elite category, along with US-based Guyanese Johan Burrows. Veteran cyclist Junior Niles also competed in the Masters B category. Known as one of the Caribbean's premier cycling events, the race featured competitors from the United States as well as several islands across the region, including Belize, Bermuda, and the British Virgin Islands. In the chess, action commenced in the 2026 National Junior Championship qualifiers at Olympic House in Lilliandale over the weekend. 3 players, candidate Master Sachin Pitamba, woman candidate Master Aditi Joshi, and Matthew Singh, all remained unbeaten after 3 rounds of competition. Joshi currently leads Group A on tie-breaks ahead of Singh in second and Pitamba in third. Alexander Zhang and Abel Fernand Syria sit closely behind, each with 2.5 points. The 7-round Swiss System tournament continues through July 8th, with the race for the top spot still wide open. Moving into basketball, action concluded in the 19th KFC National Schools Basketball Festival at the National Gymnasium in Georgetown on Sunday. President's College asserted their dominance on the competition to emerge as champions in both the under-18 boys and girls categories. Hururu Secondary claimed the under-14 championship after defeating Skeldon Linepath 45-31, as St. Rose's High captured the under-16 crown with a 50-46 overtime victory over Berbice High School. More in basketball, the Guyana Basketball Federation have officially announced their senior men's squad selected to compete in the FIBA AmeriCup 2029 pre-qualifiers from July 8th to 12th at the Cliff Anderson Sports Hall in Georgetown. The 12-member team will be led by veteran guard Stanton Rose and also features Dominic Vincent, Nikolai Smith, Shelroy Thomas, Dimitri Rankin, Kevon Wiggins, Akil Hughes, Kimal Grimmond, Holman Bavell, Brandon Bento, Umar Rashid, and Kevin Mickle. Finally, in cricket, the Guyana Cricket Board have officially announced their national under-19 squad selected to compete in the upcoming CWI Rising Stars Under-19 Championship from July 10 to 20th in Antigua and Barbuda. Led by prolific all-rounder Parmeshwar Ram with Romario Ramdiol as his vice-captain, the side also features Jonathan Mentor, Joshua Budram, Adrian Hetmeyer, Micah Amsterdam, and West Indies under-19 wicketkeeper batter Shamar Apple. The 14-member team will be managed by Nazir Mohammed along with head coach Kumar Bishundial and assistant coach Anthony Adams. That's it for this edition of the HGP TV Sports Pulse. I'm Delvin Neblet reminding you to stay in the game.
Mohamed calls for president resignation, slams former president benefits bill. APNU says Ali must account for wealth linked to lands. Labor shortage continues to pose challenge for construction, transportation, and agriculture sectors. Region 3 rice farmers cash in on relief checks. And in sport, President's College under-18 boys and girls champions of the 9th KFC National Schools Basketball Festival. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm Travis Chase. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.